It's ClipperBlog Live, playoff preview edition. Andrew Hahn here with DJ Foster talking about the first round series between the Clippers and the Grizzlies. DJ, can you dispel some of the myths about the Clippers this season?
I think there's two big myths surrounding the Clippers. The first is that this is a fast, up-tempo, athletic team that likes to get out on the break, throw lobs, highlight plays. That's not the case. The Clippers play really slow. Chris Paul has always been a very methodical point guard. He likes to slow it down in the half court. As a result, the Clippers are actually 25th in the league in pace, so they're one of the slower teams the league has. Second myth is that Blake Griffin can't shoot. Everyone likes to talk about, oh man, if he had any jumper at all, he'd be a superstar. Well, guess what? In the month of March, Blake Griffin shot 37% from 16 to 23 feet. That's right around, that's actually above league average. That's a good number. In the month of April, however, shooting 49% from 16 to 23 feet. That's a number that just about only Dirk touches. So he's right up there among the elite in the last 2 months of the season. His improvement in that area has been drastic. I don't think you can say Blake Griffin can't shoot anymore. Is it sustainable? I don't think we'll see him shoot 49% in this series, but his jumper has to be respected now, as to where before it probably didn't.
Yeah, if Blake can shoot 49% in this series, that may change the dynamics of the series entirely.
Yeah.
What about the Grizzlies? Do you think there's any myths that the public have about that team, or are they largely the same team we saw last year take down the Spurs?
I think the big myth with them is that they think because they beat the Spurs last year, they can just do the same thing this year. But everything isn't the same. Zach Randolph was playing on an elite level. People were saying, who's the best power forward in the league? Is it Dirk? Is it Zach Randolph? That was an actual discussion before, of course, Dallas went on to win the title and put that to bed. But Zach Randolph isn't anywhere near the level he was playing at last year. He's still getting into shape. He's still rehabbing coming off that injury. He's just not the same player. So I think that's the big thing with the Grizzlies. They're not the team that they were last year because Zach Randolph isn't the same guy.
Okay. What do you think some of the best mismatches are for the Clippers?
Best mismatches for the Clippers. Of course, got to start at point guard, Chris Paul. No disrespect to Mike Conley, who's probably one of the best defenders at the point guard position in the league. Tony Allen, one of the best perimeter defenders out of everyone in the league, probably a top 3 guy right behind LeBron and Iguodala. But they can't stop Chris Paul by themselves. No one can. We've seen time and time again, Chris Paul can get to any spot on the floor whenever he wants. And when he looks for his own shot and is aggressive, for all 4 quarters, he can go off for 40 any given night. He's that incredible. So I think Chris Paul is the obvious advantage they have there, their biggest advantage by far. Also, three-point shooting. Randy Foye, since the All-Star break, actually leads the league in three-pointers made, which is incredible considering where Foye was at the beginning of the year. So with Mo Williams, Nick Young, Randy Foye, Caron Butler can hit one every now and then. The Clippers are a much better perimeter shooting team than the Grizzlies, who I believe are like 22nd or 23rd in three-point percentage this year. So that's another huge advantage they have.
And what about the Grizzlies? What do you think their biggest advantages are?
They've got 3 of them in no particular order. Marc Gasol going up against DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre is a shot blocker who likes to stay glued to the rim. Marc Gasol is a very skilled, one of the most skilled players in basketball. Can draw his opponent out to 15, 17 feet, hit that mid-range jumper, and look, also make plays from the high post. He's one of the best passing centers in the league. He's really the Grizzlies' best distributor. They just dump it to him in the high post and then cut, and Gasol is brilliant at finding open guys. So I think that's a huge advantage. Wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of Kenyon Martin, who will stay up closer with Gasol from 15 to 17 feet than DeAndre would. Second, Rudy Gay against the Clippers wings. Rudy Gay is just too athletic for Caron Butler. Caron can't move side to side like he used to. And when Caron Butler's out of the game, Nick Young, Mo Williams, Randy Foye, they can't guard Rudy Gay. He's too big. He can shoot right over the top. That's their second big advantage. Third, they have Lionel Hollins. The Clippers have Vinny Del Negro. I've given Del Negro a lot of flack this year, but Hollins very quietly is one of the most underrated coaches in the league. The way he's gotten the Grizzlies to buy in defensively is incredible. They're a great defensive team, so I think that's another advantage that they can, really exploit.
A lot of people are picking the Grizzlies as a dark horse candidate to make it to the Western Conference Finals. If the Clippers manage to win this series, do you think the Clippers would become that dark horse candidate?
That's a good question. I don't think so, because I don't think they match up against San Antonio very well. The Clippers struggle to defend spot-up shooters, and the Spurs are the best three-point percentage shooting team in the league. I mean, from 1 through 9, they have about 7 or 8 guys who can step out and knock down a three. So I think that would be a tough series. I don't see them being able to beat San Antonio if they get past Memphis. Memphis would give the Spurs a good series, but I think the Spurs are a heavy favorite to go to the Western Conference Finals at this point.
So it's just the Clippers are just a unique matchup for the Grizzlies, maybe.
They are, yeah, I think so. I think with the things that Chris Paul can do and really the turnovers, the Grizzlies thrive on turning over their opponent. They're first in the league at turning over their opponent. But the Clippers don't turn over the ball. Chris Paul doesn't make mistakes. They're, I believe, 29th in the league in turnovers. So they just don't give up the ball. That's a lot of what the Grizzlies do, and Chris Paul takes that away. So I think that's one of the big factors in this series is the Clippers' control of the basketball.
Okay. So, predictions for this 4-5 matchup, DJ.
Yes.
Who do you have?
Oh, it's tough. A lot of people are waffling on this. I'd be lying to you if I said that I wasn't doing the same. But I'll say Clippers in 7 games. I think this is the tightest series out of all the first-round matchups. I think it goes to 7. And ultimately, with 2 minutes left in a tight game, Game 7, I want Chris Paul with the ball. I trust Chris Paul to get better shots than I would Rudy Gay. Rudy Gay is a really good clutch scorer, obviously a fantastic player, but Chris Paul gets layups with the game on the line. I mean, uncontested layups. He takes on 5 guys. We've seen it multiple times, fourth quarter, again and again. So I'll take Chris Paul to close out a tough series against the Grizzlies in 7 games.
Okay, great stuff. DJ Foster, thanks for your time.
All right, thanks, Andrew.